Hi angels, welcome to Earth Angel Energy. I'm the Earth Angel and today I'm bringing you another pick a card reading, and today's topic is who do people think you are? So your reputation, your persona, who do people think you are? And I have 3 piles for you. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Go ahead and take a second, see which pile resonates with you, and we'll go ahead and get started. Hi, pile 1. So if you chose the first pile, then this is your reading on who do people think you are. Okay, the first thing I'm seeing is a very confident, fiery, and attractive individual. So with the King of Wands, there is an energy of you kind of standing up straight, being upright, someone who knows what you want and you go after it. Now with the 4 of Cups and the Page of Cups, I do see a sense that you're very discerning. So I feel like when people think of who you are, there is this sense that they can't really just like come to you any old way, that you're not just going to take any old offer. There's something here where you're not afraid to pivot towards the things that you do want. So once again, you have certain standards and people know that about you. There's also this energy too with the 4 of Cups and the Page of Cups. People see you as someone who either doesn't always need closure, you don't always need an apology, you don't always need to know the answers if maybe someone treated you poorly or if someone tried to like play games with you. There is this sense of you being able to find better elsewhere. Very blessed person, a very talented person with the Ace of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, someone who's family oriented, someone who's really able to form really high level connections. So you could be a good friend, a good family member, a good coworker. There is this sense of you being a very fair and just person. Also very enlightened as well. People could see you as somewhat family oriented, but at the same time having standards even with that as well. So family members also know that they need to come to you respectfully, come to you with a genuine energy, come to you with love. I'm also hearing what you see is what you get. So you're not a fake person. I think that you do have some things that you kind of keep close to your chest. But if you like a person, you will show them that. If you believe in something, you will show that. People really don't see you as like a two-faced person at all. Very genuine person. The Hanged Man. I like the Hanged Man because people also see you as someone who is enlightened. You might even kind of have this ability to see through people, to see who people really are, or to kind of understand, okay, this is the kind of person that I'd want to invest in. This is the kind of a person that maybe I don't want to invest in. Let's go ahead and get some more. There's a bit of a spiritual energy here as well, but also very practical. Ace of Swords. Very intelligent, very honest, very fair. This is definitely the kind of energy that, once again, people don't want to mess with you, but it's not necessarily because like of a strong fear. I think people really enjoy, okay. People enjoy being around you or being near you. You might be someone who's prone to having some people maybe be a little bit envious of you or getting kind of like weird one-sided competitions with you. And I think that's really sharpened your intuition and sharpened your ability to navigate difficult social situations. So people can also see that you are not afraid of, if you notice that someone has a weird vibe, you're not really afraid of it. You're able to navigate it and say, okay, I'm going to maybe create some distance or have boundaries with someone, but in a way that doesn't feel super confrontational. But people can definitely tell that you're not necessarily intimidated by any negative energy that's sent your way. Now, we also have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands. So I see a lot of duality in you. People see you as someone very confident, someone who's very forward moving. They also see you as someone very intelligent, someone very self-assured, someone who's really not afraid to defend themselves or defend their position, but doing it in a smart way. We really don't have any knights here, so you're not hasty. I think it's pretty rare that you'll like put your foot in your mouth. You don't really, I just find you don't embarrass yourself very often either. So once again, kind of keeping everything very well put together from other people's perspective. But with the Queen of Cups, you're also loving. You're also warm when people earn that from you. But I think that energy can be quite enticing and even addicting for some people. People like your attention, people like your warmth, but they also understand that you can withdraw that pretty quickly. So I feel like people see your King of Wands energy, strong, self-assured, passionate. They also see this Queen of Swords, analytical, a little bit more reserved, a little bit on that kind of Ice Queen, Ice King kind of energy, but they also see this Queen of Cups, warm, loving, reassuring. 6 of Swords, Yes. Again, there's a specific thing that really seems to characterize you for people. They see you as someone who is very strategic, and it's not giving me like a Machiavellian energy. It's more so like, you prefer people who are constructive. You prefer people who are peaceful. I think you can still be fun. Still think you like to have fun. But there is this sense of, if someone feels super chaotic, if somebody feels two-faced, if somebody feels like someone you can't trust, you will kind of gently but purposefully move away from those individuals. I don't think you make a scene about it. You're not really even going to announce it, but people can kind of tell when you start to put distance between yourself if you feel like someone is not quite on the same wavelength as you. That wavelength being success. But once again, the Six of Swords, if you look, they're like sliding across the ice, right? It's a fluid motion. It's a simple motion. But this Six of Swords leads to the Six of Wands, success. So you will quietly kind of pivot towards other things. If something doesn't work out, you're not going to be like, this isn't working out. You'll just quietly move towards something else, something better. Very graceful energy. All right, anything else? You're not afraid to end things. Some people know this. So you could have a lot of people who've kind of been left in the dust by you pretty unceremoniously. I don't think you make a big fuss about it. Queen of Wands, attractive, resilient, stable. And once again, I just keep getting all of the kings and the queens. So very elevated, not immature at all, very stable, but still, once again, fiery, passionate, not afraid to take risks. I just hope you don't take stupid risks. You take smart risks. The kind of risks that will lead to success. Don't be surprised if people follow you or start to follow you more or listen to your guidance. Tower, Five of Pentacles, Three of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. Beautiful with the Six of Pentacles. So you also are someone who has been through difficult times, has been through challenges, has been through a lot of hardships. You've maybe had people hurt you, had people betray you, and it's kind of sharpened you into this very elevated person. But people also see you as someone who has somehow transmuted this energy into a lot of growth and a lot of abundance. I feel like if I could characterize your energy right now, I think you've kind of had that dark night of the soul. You've kind of gone through the fire, and now you're on the other end of it. I think you still are continuing to kind of reap a lot of those rewards. It's sort of like coming out of the fire, and then I'm seeing this like golden ladder or this golden staircase, and you're about a third of the way up there. So you still have more achievements, you still have a ways to climb, you still have more blessings coming in your way. But I do feel like for the most part, you're out of the fire, and even if there is fire ahead, you're ready for it. There's something very strong and very graceful about it. I would say the way your energy moves feels like a ballerina or a ballerino. But even though it's graceful, even though it's beautiful, people who do ballet are some of the most athletic, strong, mentally and physically resilient people in the world. And because of that, the control of the body, control of energy, they're able to make it look so graceful and so seamless. But, I would challenge anyone of any athleticism to, go toe-to-toe with a professional dancer. Technically, they're some of the best in the world. They're some of the most hardened physically and mentally in the world. But when you see them just move, it's like air. It's like water. So graceful. That's who you are. It's like when people see you, they see grace, they see poise, they see intelligence, they see someone who really just kind of radiates this very advanced energy, this advanced image. But people also know that beneath the surface is someone with a tremendous amount of discipline and skill at whatever you do, whether that's your career, whether that's socializing, whether that's homemaking, whether that's your education. Whatever you do it extremely well, to the point where you make it easy. You make it look easy. But people know that beneath that surface is someone who I think has really honed and sharpened their skills. Five of Swords, Fool, and the Page of Swords. And just be aware too that there are a lot of people around you who don't feel like they've got the skills that you have, or they have the confidence that you have, or they have the grace that you have. And they kind of watch you like, how did they become this person? I think you are a bit of an enigma. And I think a lot of people, you have a unique energy. There's not a lot of people who really walk through the world with confidence and grace and intellect and skill. And people just have to assume, that they must be very educated, or they must have, worked a lot, or they must have done a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of study. Whatever it is that you excel at, where it just looks so graceful and so easy for you, people are just kind of assuming that you have a lot of experience under your belt that's gotten you to this point, It's like all those hours of practice, all those hours of work to go on stage and look beautiful and seamless and flawless. That's what I have for you, Pile 1. And once again, this could be an energy that you're working on. This could be an energy that you're growing into. But I definitely feel like you will understand, because I do think that this is something you strive for. And I think you're doing this very, very well. Very beautiful. And just don't be surprised if people believe in you and want to support you moving forward. I think a lot of people see this in you. Someone who can get things done but make it look beautiful. And that's a very, very valuable commodity. That's what I have for you, Pile 1. Gorgeous energy. I do hope this resonated. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, details on how to do that are down below. Thank you so much for being here once again. Until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you. Hi, Pile 2. So if you chose a second pile, then this is your reading on who do people think you are. So the first thing I'm seeing is this star energy. So someone very healed and someone very healing. I'm getting like this very light, beautiful, almost like shimmering, iridescent energy from you. So you could be quite mysterious, but at the same time warm and approachable. I'm almost imagining you kind of like just appearing in a space or floating into a space. And it's kind of like, who are you? Where did you come from? Like, where did they go? But at the same time, you feel grounded. You feel present. You do definitely stand out. Now with the 5 of Wands and the Hangman and the Strength, I kind of love this energy. So I feel like in a very chaotic or messy or crazy world, you always seem very like put together. Like, I'm almost imagining, have you ever seen those scenes in a movie where there's like a bunch of people fighting, there's a crazy fight going on, and there's just like one person who's just chilling? You very much give me that energy, but it comes from a place of strength. You feel very above the fray, very above drama. People kind of know when you enter a space. It feels higher vibrational. It's sort of like, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I don't know if you have a lot of people around you who could be in a more like chaotic, stressed out energy. You really just don't give that. You're very healing to people. People know that you'll give good advice. You bring good vibes. You bring good energy. People trust you a lot as well. You're really able, especially if people have a lot of confusion or a lot of stress, they can come to you and people know that you will give them that higher perspective. You'll give them that sense of direction. You feel like a calm breath of air. And then it's like, okay, once we've calmed down, what are we going to do to move forward? It's a beautiful energy. Very attractive as well. 4 of Swords. 10 of Cups. 7 of Cups, let's get one more. And the Justice. Who do people think you are? There is a sense here that you do have some sort of strong sense of justice, or a strong sense of, wanting to see the world become a better place. I think for some of you, there's also a practicality to it though as well. And I do think that this is a great energy where sometimes, we can get so caught up in the way that we want the world to be that we just say, you know what, I'm not going to look at the way that the world is. But I think the most practical approach is to say, you know what, this is how things are. Let me work within this system to make things better. So once again, there's something about you where it's like, okay, I'm just going to do what I need to do within, the injustice or within the difficult systems that we have. So you could be someone who cares for animals. You could care for the less fortunate. There's this purity to that energy here. I see a lot of animals here. You could care about justice, while at the same time understanding that justice isn't always served fairly. Now with the 4 of Swords and the 10 of Cups, there is this sense that you do need your time to yourself. You do need your time to rest and recuperate so that you can kind of show up in a really nice energy. So once again, Going back to the beginning of this reading, I kept imagining you kind of like floating into a space with this beautiful energy and then floating out. So you're not always available. You're not always at people's beck and call. It's kind of like, they'll come to me when they're ready. Or if they're available, then I can, enjoy some of their beautiful energy. But people also kind of know that you're not a doormat. People can't just come to you at any time and be like, come help me. No. It's more like people will reach out to you, and then when you're ready to reach back, they accept it, they receive it. Three of Swords, Queen of Wands, and the Hermit. I think if people know you more intimately or know about kind of what's happened in your life, there is this sense of heartbreak in the past. A heartbreak that kind of wasn't deserved. You could honestly have had people kind of treat you poorly, either because of like your attractiveness or your beautiful energy. There's something very enticing about the Queen of Wands. You could get quite a bit of attention, and I do think that some people have mistreated you because of that, and it sort of led you into this transformational Hermit energy. So the Hermit is almost like a magical, mystical figure to me. Your path feels very magical and mystical. I'm just imagining like sparkling, shimmering energy, like rainbow colors. So with the Hermit, if you think of a character maybe like a Gandalf or an Eowyn kind of energy, that's really who people kind of see you as. Once again, very powerful, very capable, but sort of this mystical, enigmatic figure, whether you know this or not. Two of Wands, Four of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles, but at the same time very, very grounded. So you could also be seen as someone who's quite stable, someone who's quite successful, but it's sort of like you go in between these two energies. It's like either you're in this very stable, grounded energy of like, this is how I take care of myself, this is how I work within the world. You could be quite good at what you do, you could have quite a successful career, but then you can also be very flowy, very energetic, very iridescent, almost like fairy-like. I keep saying like Lord of the Rings. So you could like Lord of the Rings. If you're not familiar, I'm sure you've heard of it, but if you haven't seen the movies, I would highly encourage you to watch it, because you're really reminding me of a lot of those characters. Once again, very powerful, very capable, very reliable, but at the same time, you're not at people's beck and call. It's kind of like they call upon you, they'll call you, they'll send you a text, they'll send you an email, and when it's time for you to come in with that beautiful, healing, helpful, guiding energy, you present that. This could be an energy that you're trying to kind of cultivate for yourself. I would just say, number one, I think a lot of people really appreciate your advice or your conversation. You are a very healing presence in a lot of people's lives, and I think that you've really worked on developing some pretty good boundaries as well, and people kind of are used to this at this point. So I don't think that people really expect, I'm gonna call on pile 2, they should come to me right away. Like, no, I don't really get the sense of that. It's sort of like, I hope that pile 2, can connect with me, or I hope that I can hang out with them or chat with them. And when you come, it's like, okay, yes, this blessing has arrived. I think what's also nice too is you also appreciate the other things that people contribute to your life as well. So you don't really give me this sense of being like, high and mighty or anything like that. I think you know what your strengths are. I think you know what your contributions are, and people are grateful for them. But you also build other people up. You could be someone who gives people compliments. You could be someone who gives people praise and kind of gives them that reassurance to continue to cultivate the good things that they have or the good things that they contribute. So very balanced. You could call on other people as well. Or if people do things for you, you're very appreciative and you'll do things for them back. It's this very beautiful, transcendent energy. You could be incredibly spiritual. I will say, I'm feeling the energy. You have very, very, very high vibrational energy. It's absolutely beautiful. It feels wonderful. And then we have the Devil here with the Ace of Cups. That's what I'm saying. The great thing about having vibrational energy, too, high vibrational energy, is understanding that there is dark energy. There's evil in the world. There's low vibrational energy. But also understanding that, God's love, the energy of love, is way more powerful than that energy as well, too. So there is this sense where you are able to overcome toxicity. You're able to overcome negativity. You never really give that sense of like, if there's something bad happening in the world, if there's a difficult situation, you never really give that sense of like, oh my gosh, there's nothing we can do. You don't feel defeatist at all. It's kind of like, let's take a deep breath. This is how we can handle it. This is how we can approach it. Very fearless energy, but from a very peaceful, healed place. 8 of Cups, Empress, yeah. You do also have this thing where you're willing to walk away from things or walk away from people or let things go. Wow. I'll be honest, pile 2, especially for people from your past, you are remembered very, very, almost like angelically. Especially once again, if you have been like a good person, a loving person, a kind person, and people have, messed with you anyway, and you just had to like disconnect or walk away, or things just happen naturally. When people talk about you, when people remember you, it's like, oh my gosh, I loved them, or they were so nice, or they were so talented. Like this very gushing energy, so many cups. If there's people where you still have like a good relationship with them, but maybe you're at a distance, maybe you moved away, or you just can't see them as much anymore, there is this huge love from people, especially like in your family, anyone that you have a good relationship right now, you are deeply, deeply loved. Wow. Gorgeous. But so powerful. I don't know. I feel like there's been times in your life where maybe multiple people have tried to come against you, or someone's tried to hurt you, or someone's tried to take something from you. And the fact that you're able to transmute this energy, once again, I strongly recommend someone needs to be watching Lord of the Rings or rewatch Lord of the Rings. The Ace of Wands, the Magician, and the Seven of Wands. This is one person who can defeat a whole army just with their power, just with their energy. For some of you, you could be pursuing some sort of front-facing career or life path, or you have some sort of career or life path where, once again, it's you connecting with multiple people, or a lot of people looking to you, turning towards you, kind of putting their energy in your hands, or kind of turning their energy towards you. I would highly recommend that. You have such power. And how do I know? Because it feels so calm. You don't come into a room screaming. You don't come into a room, look at me, no. But people feel you. They feel your presence. People do not forget you. You are truly 1 in a million, pile 2. Just very, very beautiful energy. And once again, humility is not a bad thing. I think confidence and humility can coexist. But I think you also understand the power of being like, you know what? I'm not all powerful, but I'm still powerful. I'm not perfect, but I'm still highly favored and highly capable. It's a beautiful energy. It's a magnetic energy. And there's such a warmth and a love and a kindness in you that I think is highly, highly attractive and meaningful to people around you. It's a beautiful energy. I've really only met, honestly, a handful of people like this in my life. So you are truly a cut above the rest, and truly embrace this energy, because I think it's going to serve you incredibly well in life. It's like this sage-like magician energy, mage-like energy. Highly powerful, wise, but still warm and kind. Accessible, not always accessible, but you're always there when people really need you. That's what I have for you. Beautiful energy, pile 2. Oh my gosh. I feel so uplifted by your energy. Thank you for blessing me with it. I'm feeling very, woo-woo right now because of your energy. It feels fabulous. That's what I have for you. I do hope that resonated. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read your energy. It was beautiful. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, details on how to do that are down below. Thank you all so much once again. Until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you. Hi, pile 3. So if you chose a third pile, then this is your reading on who do people think you are. Pile 3, I keep hearing the song, The Winner Takes It All. I don't know what you're doing or what is going on in your life right now. All I see is your energy. People feel like you're the one. You're about to make something amazing happen. You could be on your way to being a boss, someone highly successful. Like you're the one. I don't know what context this is. This is a general message. Everybody's life looks different, but I feel like when people are meeting you or getting to know you, it's like you're the one. Like, I don't know if you're like, this is work, this could be relationships, this could be friendships, this could be your family, looking at your life trajectory. It's like you're the emperor. You're the one that's going to make this happen. You're the one that's going to make it to the end. You're the one who's going to overcome this. This is the energy of someone, whatever you set your mind to, you're going to accomplish it. Like, you're the one. You've got the intellect, you've got the drive, you've got the confidence, you got the looks, everything. You're the one. This is it. If someone's been waiting for someone, if someone's been hoping for someone, it's you. Like, that's it. The Ace of Swords and the Judgment, some of you could have a very, very strong relationship with God, or I'd highly encourage you, if you're like, this is the energy that I want for myself, you need to have a relationship with God and he'll get you there. Working with him, working in tandem. For some of you, if you have a relationship with God and people know it, you've converted a lot of people, whether you know this or not, because they've seen God working in your life. I will say the Sun and the Ace of Swords is a huge revelation. So, revelations. Interesting. Something about revelations, that can mean something for someone. But with the Sun and the Ace of Swords, there's also this feeling that you have a lot of people in your past who, I don't know, it's like you were cloaked or you were veiled from a lot of people in the past. And I don't know if something has happened recently or something's about to happen where everyone is like, oh, you're the one. Like, you're the one. I just heard some people feel like I always knew it was you. But the tone of that, I feel like some people are excited about it. Some people are like, I knew you were going to be the successful one. Dang it, you know? You're doing it. The past didn't stop you. Hurt didn't stop you. Pain didn't stop you. Discouragement didn't stop you. Nothing has stopped you. Wow. And so now I'm seeing some more specificity here, but it's like slammed on the table. Who do people think you are? They think you're the one. They think you're the one that's going to make it to the end. They think you're the one that's going to climb the ladder. They think you're the one that's going to break the curses. It's you. You. So here's all the specifics I'm getting. Who do people think you are? Someone very attractive, someone very smart, beauty and brains. Someone loving, someone who's great at networking, someone who's great at connecting with people or people gravitate towards you. Someone who's able to walk away from negative situations and walk into better ones. It's you, Wheel of Fortune, master of your own destiny, the star, you. I don't know what's going on in your life. This could be an energy you're about to step into. Claim this energy. I feel like you are someone who, you want to live an extraordinary life, whatever that means for you. For some of you, it is a high-powered career. For some of you, it's having a beautiful, healthy family that you never had. For some of you, it's being a great artist, being someone in the medical field, someone who owns your own business, someone who creates beautiful media. But there is a sense here of like, it's you. This is a little bit more of a specific message, pile 3. So if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't really think it's me, then it's okay. You can definitely check out piles 1 or 2. Those might be a little bit more relevant. But pile 3, you are someone who, you know that this is also your energy. The way that you see yourself and the person you're becoming are becoming one. And the way that people see you. Trinity? I'm telling you, like, God is really, really either trying to speak to you or God is so proud of you and is very excited for you. For some of you, you could be really, really working hard on being one with God as well. You know, talk to him, pray, ask God, you know, put yourself in my heart more and more each day. Help me be in alignment with your plan for me. Help my desires align with your desires for me. 9 of Swords. 5 of Swords. So be aware. There's a lot of, I don't know if you're in a competitive field. I don't know if you're in a competitive space. A lot of people are recognizing you're either the one or you're like one of the ones, right? So maybe you're in a place where a couple people want a coveted position, or, you know, a couple people can be selected or something. You're definitely one of them. You. 8 of Wands, and people are talking about it. Page of Swords. 4 of Cups, just be aware. And once again, I don't think this is an energy that you're like afraid of or anything. And I do think that God is going to protect you and help you through this. Yeah. If there's people who have been looking, you know, for good talent, for good friends, good connections, something like that, they recognize you immediately. But if there's people who are in competition with you, they're also recognizing, especially if you're like newer in a space or, you know, you're formidable. You feel like a very formidable foe to people who are in competition with you. But if they're smart, they're going to want to be friends with you. That's the difference. If someone tries to kneecap you, they're not smart enough to be connected to you. But if someone says, you know what, you seem really talented. You seem you have drive. You seem like you take action. I'm the same. Let's work together. King of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Hermit. Very smart, very resourceful. It's like you don't share too much, you share just enough. You're not afraid to go alone, but you're also fine with connecting with people, collaborating with people. People have no idea your internal world is another thing too. On the outside, I mean, this pile was absolutely unbelievable. Like the initial cards especially. So this is who people think you are. The Chariot, the Sun, the Emperor, the Six of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Judgment. Someone who is highly capable, highly intelligent, knows what to do, knows what to say, is always there, is always ready. Like if I got a bunch of different piles of cards and someone said, okay, you know, just pick the person that you feel the most confident in. Pick the person that you would put your chips on the table for. It would be you. 100%. Eight of Pentacles. I'll be honest, there's a lot of people in your life right now. So this could be an energy that you've been kind of building up to and you've arrived at it now. So there could be people from your past who are like, oh my gosh, like, is that who they're going to become? Or, oh my gosh, I wish I would have known, you know, that they were this person. So that's why they're in the past. People in your life right now, you might not know this. There are so many people who look at you and think, I knew them before they got their big break or before they took, like there's people who are anticipating your success in the future. Like, oh, you know, I worked with them before they became our boss or the CEO. You know, I knew them before they got super fit and super healthy and looked amazing. I knew them when they were just getting started here. Five of Pentacles, Tower, I'm telling you though, Ace of Cups. If there are people who are no longer in your life anymore, there's a lot of regret about that. There's a lot of regret. You also have people who I think are kind of trying to change their energy when it comes to you. So there might have been people in your space right now who maybe were inclined to be hostile or jealous or competitive. And it's kind of like get with the winning team kind of energy. Your energy feels a bit like a steamroller. But there's a lot of people who would rather just, you know, hop on instead of, you know, being steamrolled kind of energy. But it's not aggressive. Like, you're not coming out the gate. Like, you don't have to announce it. You don't have to announce that you're the one. People can see it by the way you carry yourself, the way that you perform, the way that you show up. It's you. And it's kind of like, you know, hop on the chariot or get left in the dust. The most potent thing about you too is you reach out a hand. You're not afraid to be the hermit. You're not afraid to go it alone. But you kind of offer that energy to people. So you could be really good at networking or that's something you're working on. I highly, highly recommend if you're trying to achieve something pretty significant in your life here, when you see someone where you're like, you know, oh, I can see that that person is talented or that person is hardworking or collaborative or we can work together to kind of build something or connect, talk to them. Say hi, introduce yourself. A lot of people who are trying to do whatever you're doing here, because I see achievements that you're trying to pursue, they want to connect with people too. They recognize you as well. For some of them, they might be intimidated. But people also see that you reach out a hand. They see you building a network. They see you connecting with people. And at this point, I don't really see very many people who are like wanting to double cross you. I think there were some people who, they thought they were the one. I also think one of your secrets too is you realize that it doesn't just have to be one of you. That a rising tide can lift all boats. But are you going to try to sink the ship, or are you going to bring your own ship along? What are we going to do? Page of Cups. I think this is really what does freak some people out who are like very competitive with you or low vibrational. And I've seen this dynamic before in some other readings for the collective, and it's such a fascinating energy. A lot of times, you show up as the Page of Cups. So you have this like sweet cup of like, hey, like let's get to know each other. Oh my gosh, like how are you? Da-da-da. But with the Devil, the King of Wands, I do feel like if there's people who are hyper competitive, because I don't really see nefarious intentions from you. So I don't see that this is like a fake energy. I think you just have things you want to accomplish in life, and you're doing so genuinely. Like if you want to collaborate with someone, you genuinely want to collaborate with them. You don't want to like screw them over later on down the line. It's like, I can succeed and you can succeed. There's enough for all of us. But if there's people who have like a lack mentality, who kind of feel like, oh, are they just going to connect with them to screw them over later or take their opportunities later? No. But I think they just don't understand the level that you're operating at. I do feel like you're playing chess and other people are playing checkers, and they know it. People love you. This is very burdensome for people who are in competition with you. Pile 3, this is definitely the energy of you being in some sort of competitive space right now. And I mean, unfortunately, life can be competitive too. But the fact that people love you, the fact that people do gravitate towards you, the fact that you extend your cup and people extend theirs back to you is burdensome for some people. It's like when people see you, I'm imagining like this golden statue kind of thing. Now, keep in mind, really make sure that you're maintaining your humility here. We don't want to be worshiping idols. And I think that can trip people up when they kind of get into this point where like, yeah, I am the one, nobody's as good as me. Like, I think that you've really honed your skills, you've honed your abilities, you've honed your energy. And so you do stand out, you do rise above the crowd, but we can always learn, we can always grow. And having a level of saying, you know what, I'm not a perfect person. I still have my faults and I still have my flaws, and there's things that I want to work on. And having a little bit of humility can be incredibly useful to keep you grounded, to keep you sane, and to keep you honest. Nobody is perfect. But I think people see you and they see this kind of almost perfect vision or perfect energy. But then the longer they spend time with you, the more they get to know you, they see the mechanisms working, They see you connecting with people. They see you being open with people. They see a level of vulnerability, but also restraint. And that's intimidating. Because you're not perfect. You're just smart. And confident and determined. And you know what you've got. You can recognize other people's assets and attributes. And you form these connections. You form this web. It's like every time people see you, your garden grows bigger. And there's more variety. There's more connections. There's more beauty. And you never stop growing. And people just know, they blink, they look away for a second. You'll be at the top. Whatever the top looks like for you. That's what I have for you. Pile 3. Congratulations. Keep going. People see you for who you are, and it is impressive. Don't be surprised if people continue to choose you over and over again. That's what I have for you. I do hope this resonated. I hope you enjoyed this. And once again, this is an energy that you can work up towards if you feel like, gosh, I would love this energy, but I don't feel like I'm there yet. Resonate in it. Put in the work. Put in the energy. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, details on how to do that are down below. But I think you are definitely on the right track. That's what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you.